let's talk about the DM.
All right. Here we are.
Looks like a theater.
Live
At
at 11:24.
Come on now. If you could have just kept that going for a little bit more.
Oh, that was funny. It's still 11:24.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry.
Isn't your iPad fast?
Here we are live at 11:25 on
There it is.
Saturday. We're back again. We did not do the game chat last week.
Or the week before.
Really? We took 2 weeks off.
Yeah, we took 2 weeks off because we nothing to talk about.
Wasn't a very fun vacation. You got something to talk about today, though.
Yes.
You got lots of stuff to talk about today. You are on Fuego. You are En Fuego.
I have all Nintendo stuff to talk about.
You are just bubbling over with things to say and talk about and right. Unlike that last time that we got together and talked about the games, and he had so much to talk about, and we were done in 15 minutes, and he went, "Oh no."
I don't have that.
As creator of the game chat, I was just told.
You say that all the time.
I do not say creator. I say it's your game chat. I did not say creator of the game chat.
But I'm the one who proposed the idea.
Proposing an idea and creating is not the same thing. You can be the idea man, but you're definitely not a creator. Because if you were a creator, you'd have more content.
I have content.
Content for the people on the game chat.
Oh.
See? Oh. So what do we have for this week? I only have 1, 2, 3 things. So I think my things get wrapped into your thing, so go for it.
Probably. Because I have.
Let's talk about that.
I have the only interesting things from Nintendo Direct.
All right, so Nintendo Direct happened this week.
Yes.
Do you remember what day it happened?
The 4th?
So 3 days ago. Okay.
Yes. Yes, because.
Tell us about your impressions of the Nintendo Direct and how awesome it was.
It was really boring, guys. I mean, a lot of the things were not. The whole point of a trailer of a game is to make me want to play it. I didn't want to play half of the things that they showed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Luigi's Mansion? Maybe.
Why?
Because it's Mario. It's Luigi. I mean, that's kind of the only reason.
The
And I've never played a
only
Luigi's
reason
Mansion
anybody
game.
plays Nintendo is for Mario.
And I've never played a Luigi's Mansion game, and this is the 3rd one, so
You want to dive in?
yeah, I did. That kind of looks interesting to me. Luigi being a Ghostbuster.
Luigi as Ghostbuster.
That's what he is.
Keep going. It's over already?
No, it's not over already.
Come on, man!
They're putting Overwatch on the Switch, which might be interesting because they showed that you could use the motion controls of the Switch to maneuver some of the abilities of the characters, which might be good, might be bad, I don't know. But for me, I probably won't play it on the Switch because I play Overwatch with mouse and keyboard. I don't play it with a controller. And
so you're saying the Switch needs a mouse and a keyboard?
yes. That might be. That would be
Them
cool.
platformers out there ain't gonna like that much.
Right.
Keep going.
Just have it be another controller. What else do we have? Oh, you love Pokemon so much. You want to play Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Trust me. Pokemon ends up on the Switch. I might have to burn the Switch.
you were loving that.
All I got to say
customization
about
of the characters. The new Pokemon, the one that's the ghost inside the teapot, and making all the curry.
You're making my head hurt.
You can be a curry master, man.
You know what? Everything Pokemon I want gone from life.
Why?
I mean, I get, okay, the cards, if you're into cards and card game, and okay, fine, that's fine.
Yeah, I have a bunch of cards.
But outside of that,
card game.
I have no. I mean, is there a good Pokemon game?
Most of them are good in people who like the game.
No, I'm saying like as a game, if it wasn't Pokemon and it was something else, is the gameplay, is the game a good game?
I don't know. I've only.
Or people are just attracted to Pokemon.
I'd say it's a little bit of both, but probably more the latter.
Right. So I mean, basically, it's Pokemon people like, but the games themselves. If you're not into Pokemon, but you're into gameplay, would you choose that game?
I've played one old one, so I don't know what all the new ones are like. All the 3D ones, I have no idea.
See, here's the problem. While I have no desire to play any of them, I don't think I'm ever gonna find out if the game is good.
Right.
Because
you have no desire to play.
Pokemon?
And Pokemon, to me, is the only game that I've played where I didn't mind that it was turn-based combat. Because that's how you fight. And it's the only game franchise, but probably just because of.
Weren't you this morning playing a turn-based combat game? And
yeah,
you were
and I say
like
that in my
long
thing.
in the face.
I will get to that. Okay.
All right, keep going.
It's on there.
Keep working it. Keep working it. I'm listening.
Oh, Animal Crossing. It's not interesting at all. Animal Crossing is like so not.
So you're just settling all family business today is what you're doing.
Yes.
I know that you haven't seen Godfather 2, but you are literally settling all family business when it comes to the Nintendo family.
Yeah.
Go for it. Keep going.
Animal Crossing. Why? Just why? It's like third-person, top-down Minecraft.
Is it?
Yeah, because that's the thing that
but
they
you
showed.
like Minecraft. Even my students want to play Minecraft with you now.
I haven't really.
Yep.
Have they seen my videos?
They have.
Interesting fact. The second Minecraft video is my favorite video I've ever done on my channel. Anyway.
What's your channel?
Professor Raptor 25.
Where you do games.
Yes. Sometimes.
No, you can't take the tagline of this one and put it over there.
It kind of fits.
You play games all the time over there,
yeah,
as well as art.
Always up.
As well as art, but guess what? Over here, you only play games sometimes. How do you split yourself that way? Over there, you think you're more interesting, and then over here, you just come over here to just what?
In reality,
make everybody feel bad about their gameplay choices and their Animal Crossing love.
I haven't uploaded in about 2 months.
See.
But that's different. That's a different issue.
All right, yeah, it's a different issue. All right.
Different problem.
Actually, it's the same problem in 2 different places.
True. But because that was the thing that they showed at the Nintendo Direct was that.
Which game are we talking about?
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing that you like so much.
I don't. That you are on this island and you just chop down trees and collect materials.
Isn't that what you do in Minecraft?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, why do you like Minecraft but you don't like this? What is the difference? What's going on here? I don't know. But no, seriously, you just described it as top-down Minecraft, but you like Minecraft. So why don't you like this game?
My love for Minecraft is slowly dying.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah, because I haven't played Minecraft in a long time.
I deleted Minecraft long ago.
And whenever I do play, I never play survival. I always just build and creative.
I know. So, is there a creative mode in Animal Crossing? I heard Animal Crossing is quite popular. Many people like it. Even the nerds that I listen to,
maybe it's like
they like it.
Maybe it's like Stardew Valley, where it's just kind of
they like that too.
A relaxing thing to just
they enjoy that.
You know, because that's what I've heard about Stardew Valley.
Isn't that what Subnautica was?
No, Subnautica is not relaxing.
It can be.
Talking about
in creative mode. That's why I use Minecraft, right? To build stuff.
Right. I guess it's just kind of a thing where you're maybe listening to something else, like how you did with Subnautica, listening to podcasts and stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's good for that.
Hundreds of hours in that game.
I don't know. It just, like all those games, it gets to a point where it's just repetitive. You're just doing the same things for hours.
All right, keep going, man. Don't stop, man. You're on a roll. Let's keep it rolling.
The SNES games.
Okay, Super Nintendo.
It's called the SNES.
Yeah, and we write it, but to say it sounds stupid.
The SNES.
It just sounds dumb.
The Super NES. Good compromise. Super Nintendo. Those the new batch of games, the first wave, shall we say, came out on the Switch. It was a free download for all the Nintendo Online subscribers.
What's a free download?
The games.
No, it's not a free download. They're just in the online space.
No, you have to download. It's a separate thing.
Huh?
What
are you downloading? No, I have not looked at it because the Switch has been commandeered in my house. And I don't get a chance to even play anything anymore.
The library.
You don't have to show me, just tell me.
You have to see it.
No, talk to the people, man. We got them keep it rolling, man. No, I can't see. They can't see.
You can't see.
Oh God. So what are you downloading?
It's a separate library of games.
So Nintendo is a library and Super Nintendo is a library on the Nintendo Online service.
Yes.
So you have to explain it to the people because they can't see the thing that you're showing in your hand. You're just wasting time by showing me. You could have just said it.
You can see it.
You could have said it to the people.
We can take a picture.
Oh God, no.
Throw it up.
You Mr. You are. I'm gonna start calling you Mr. In Post.
Yeah.
Even though you're never around for the in post process.
Well.
See. Well. Okay, so 20 Super Nintendo games.
Yes.
This was on my list.
Yes.
Coming online, and I said, "Isn't this what we asked for?"
It is.
And this is exactly what we asked for.
Yeah.
We were saying before that they should just put the entire library of the games that they can put on Nintendo, just put them all on the Switch. And like I said this morning, if they did that, they basically will make it so that nobody ever wants to stop playing the Switch.
Yeah, because for people like me who didn't get to play those old games, it's a new experience. And for people like you who did play some of those games, it's nostalgic to go back and play those.
And we've got Super Nintendo wireless controllers to now hook up to our Switch.
Yes.
So that's a whole nother facet to this because honestly, that muscle memory, it's still there. And you're going to start playing these games like Super Mario World.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, all it takes is just to sit down with that controller and you're back. You're back, baby.
You are back.
Well,
I am not back.
For some of us, you're back, baby. If you're classically trained, as my shirt says,
which is actually the NES controller.
Exactly. Then you are back.
Yeah.
And what I'm looking forward to is them doing something like the Nintendo 64, which I never played, or the GameCube, which I also never
have the
played.
GameCube controller.
Right. So then
that's already out in the thing.
But that's a corded controller, right? I believe that's not wireless.
I think you can do both.
I thought that one was only
corded. I think
that's
like the Pro controller where I believe it can be both.
Just look that up.
we'd have to look that up.
But that's what I'm saying is, you're talking like
those old 3D games.
Yeah, all of them. Just get them all. Put them all on there. Why not? If you do that,
do everything.
Like I'm saying, my point is, if you do that, you will ensure that people are going to not only buy your new
game
Switch Lite, but you're also pretty much guaranteed that people are going to want to sign up for your service because dads and moms out there that played those games back in the day, they're sitting down with the kids now.
Yeah.
And then you've got the kids playing the new games. And then, like The Witcher or whatever, they can play that. I mean, I'm telling you, you're setting yourself up for years of people just buying Switches. And they made the Switch a little bit better with the battery life thing.
Yeah.
You can make small changes, but that online thing just becomes something everybody just gets to connect to.
And something you have to have, essentially.
I wouldn't want to have a Switch today and just have the games from the Switch.
How long did we have that? Online. Like maybe a week before we got the online.
But I knew the online was going to be something that we wanted because we wanted to play the old games.
Right.
So if they're smart, they just keep putting games. And the other thing I had on my list was what came out in the news today was Nintendo and Super Nintendo games. While the Nintendo games had been coming out every month, which I didn't know.
The second Wednesday of every month.
Yeah, which I didn't know.
That. That only happened, I think, once since we've had it.
Yeah, we haven't had ours alone.
Three new games got added to
the
NES one.
That idea that you're gonna get games randomly and they're just gonna keep coming for the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo. Come on now.
Yeah, it's just gonna.
Why would I ever turn off? I'm never turning this thing off. Nope. This is essentially Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the thing that for video games that is like, just keep it coming, man.
Yeah.
Because now it's like Star Fox. I've never played Star Fox.
I've never played Star Fox.
But I can do it now, and I don't have to do anything. But
I've seen some of these games, like Kirby's Dream Course. The Game Grumps had a really long,
like Kirby.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. Or Donkey Kong. Like I never played Donkey Kong. Mario Kart?
Something Diddy. Isn't Diddy Kong or?
No, I don't think.
There's another Donkey Kong, something else Donkey Kong.
Not yet.
A kart one or
There's
something?
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart. Super Mario Kart.
Yeah, Super Mario Kart came out. There was another one.
Donkey Kong 3. That's what's in there.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh,
it's the one where you shoot him up and he moves up and
that's in the original one.
Well,
that's
not
not
in
the
the
Super Nintendo.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well,
because I played that before.
But I think they added it recently because it was news about it.
I don't know. It may be recent because I think
a recent ad for Nintendo.
But we got it. We got the Switch maybe when it was recently added because I played it like one of the first days we had it.
The one where you shoot up?
Yeah, when you're the bug guy and all the bugs are flying at you. Yeah, we played it. Yeah, I did. Switch, it's like the best system.
And then you got the game I just downloaded for my phone.
Dr. Mario World. Which is
there's a kart game I think too, right?
Mario Kart, and then there was another one that was like
one for iOS.
Oh yeah,
I think
Super Mario Kart World. I think.
Yeah,
that was the other one.
So.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Really?
There was another iOS.
And then I can link my account.
Yeah. And then you end up getting rewards for that on the. Yeah.
I can just be playing and get some hookup.
Yeah.
For buying my games on my Switch.
That's where Nintendo is smart because they make you. Not only do they make games that are like really fun because almost their entire library of game is fun.
Everything's fun.
Except for the game that I'm about to talk about.
Except for that.
Yeah.
I'm sure that as you play, you're gonna find many games that are not fun.
But
some of them,
not Nintendo though.
I think some of them have interesting things in them that make you want to still keep playing it, even though you find this aspect or that aspect not so good.
Well, sure.
But you still want to play it. But the game that you were playing this morning, you don't want to play it.
I don't want to play it.
So there is that.
Because it's like with Breath of the Wild, there are plenty of things to complain about that are a little annoying or not great, and it's like.
But you can't stop.
But why would you ever talk about that when the game is so good?
But you can't stop.
But then there are some other games there's so many bad things. Why would you ever say anything about?
He is waking up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. He's still playing this game.
Because I've played Kirby's Dream Course. I played a very small bit, like 2 stages of Super Mario World because I'm terrible at Mario.
Terrible. True statement.
I played The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, which is pretty fun because there's like multi-level rooms that you can evade enemies if you're low on hearts. I've been playing. I think I played that the most out of the Super Nintendo games, and I played some of the Super Metroid last night. I'm bad at that too, because I'm just bad at platformers.
Is that a side-scrolling platformer, or is it just static?
No, it's a side-scrolling platformer.
Does it scroll without you moving?
No.
That's what I'm asking.
No, you go back and forth, up and down. And I'm slowly learning that I'm bad at just all platformers, cause I'm bad at Mario, I'm bad at Cuphead, I'm bad at Mega Man.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm bad at
this is the classical training that I was talking about. This is part of playing video games where you have to be skillful. It's not just about, you can't button mash.
No.
You can't do any of the stuff where that modern games allow you to kind of get away with.
Yeah.
You can't get, you can get a little bit lucky, but you kind of have to learn it and be good at it. And that's the games that they had back. I would say that in some ways, older games are more difficult than newer games. For slightly different reasons, but they are more difficult.
Right.
The difficulty in the new games is traversing spaces, solving puzzles, trying to making sure that your character has leveled up sufficiently in order to do something.
Yeah.
See, those games back in the day didn't have any of those mechanics.
Right.
So it was just like,
but they may have had
you gotta get through it. Your character doesn't get any better.
Right.
You might get something that allows you to do something. Right. You get Yoshi. Yoshi can then has its things that Yoshi can do.
Right. Yoshi can eat things.
But that doesn't really save. That basically, being on Yoshi's back gave you another life. That's all it kind of does, and because it allows you to get hit and Yoshi run away, but you didn't change. And I remember playing those games, and that's what you did on purpose sometimes. Right. Sometimes you just went ahead and you jumped into the fray knowing that you were going to lose him. And
sometimes you jump off his back to get higher.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So it's about a higher, I would say, more of a skill level with fewer buttons. Yeah. You don't have a whole lot to really do with your hands, but you have to do what you do very, very well and efficiently to be good at the game.
Yeah.
That's old school gaming. Old school gaming.
And a lot of those games, you just, with the controls, you kind of had to figure it out. It's like, okay, this is kind of the universal button for activating something. And then later on, like in Super Metroid, it would only tell me what button to hit when I got something new. It would say, press the X button. It's like, oh, I didn't know that did anything. I was just hitting A and B this whole time to jump and shoot. That's all I was doing. And in games today, they throw it all at you as soon as you start playing. Or you have something like Mario or Zelda that it's kind of always there. It's always at the bottom of the screen when you are doing something, or you just memorize it. This is the button to do with the thing.
The thing about Nintendo that's always been Nintendo for some reason is it's kind of made for 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
And it feels it's always felt that way. It's always felt like it was for family, it was for young people, and it was like, we have to make it not too difficult for the youngest of players while keeping it interesting for the older players.
Right.
And they do it super well, and they make it fun, and it's not overwhelming.
No.
Whereas other games, we're not common, man. For other games, it always feels overwhelming. You start out playing a certain game, and then obviously you can do this, and you can do that, and you can do that. It's like, fuck, I don't remember any of the buttons. I remember nothing. I have to go back into menus and look everything back up again. Like, how do I do this thing?
Yeah. I think
there is that.
The menu aspect also is almost non-existent. Because in Mario, who freaking goes into a menu? There is a place. There's a thing. There's a map. Mario
and
Odyssey,
a thing to tell you all your moves.
All your moves. I've gone into the move thing maybe twice just to figure out that long jump because that's kind of difficult to do. But other than that, I never looked at the map in that game.
But you also don't ever need to really do the long jump. You
True.
can do
You can
stuff
through
other
the
means.
world without doing any of
See?
that. And I only go into the pause menu just to save and get out of the game. Mm-hmm. And in Zelda, you go in, switch weapons, put on different clothes, eat food, hold things to cook food. I mean, you're not really going in, it's not like For Honor, where you go in and you have 25 different things that you can do in just the first menu that you touch. And it's like,
look,
but I don't need to.
For Honor,
I don't need
just
to do
getting
that.
through the tutorial in For Honor made me not want to play For Honor.
Yeah.
That was enough. I literally did almost all of the tutorial was like, I don't even want to finish the tutorial. Yeah. And you kept saying, "Oh, it's so fun after." Don't care. It's like I don't want to play this.
Not a good first impression,
or second,
right?
Or third.
That's
why I said about the game today. Yeah, you better give it a chance because you get in there and you're maybe it is something you want to do, but you got to get past certain junk. And I've heard people say there's some games out there that they were playing. I don't remember the names of them, but they were saying, you got to get 4 hours in before it gets really fun.
See, I don't have the patience for that to get 4 hours in, because like Zelda.
Well, you would have the patience for it if it was interesting.
Right, if it was interesting in those 4 hours, then fine. But if it's not interesting in the first hour and a half, I'm not continuing.
Yeah, but if it's interesting and even though it might be maybe not so challenging and it's a lot of understanding the world and all that stuff, that might be enough to keep you going, keep you in it, keep you engaged. But I don't.
Because, I mean, the two main games that I've played on the Switch are Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. And I beat Odyssey, which I haven't gone back to collect all the moons. But it's like instant fun. It's like instantly fun and easy and challenging and
Nintendo.
You're right into it.
Maybe they should change their tagline to instantly fun.
Yeah.
You need to copyright that. You need to take that.
Take that? Nintendo. You need to pay me to get that.
That's right. Get that money, man. Instantly fun.
Yeah.
The sometimes gamers say, "Oh, we could put that like one of those things that slides across the screen and it's nice and big."
Yeah.
Aaron's game chat, like have the Aaron's game chat.
Yeah.
Nintendo, it's instantly fun in quotes and have it moving across it. No,
that's too much. That's too much work. So yeah, speaking of Breath of the Wild, I did do some big things in there.
Big things.
Yes, I went to the top of your snow-capped mountain, Mount Lanayru.
You went after the dragon
yes,
up there?
I went out after the dragon.
With the giant eyeballs.
The dragon Nadra. Went up there. I did that whole mission, which was fun to me.
Yeah, but you also are way more ahead in the game.
Yes, I am very far ahead.
I'm what, 4 or 5 hearts in.
Yeah,
and you have 30.
No, I don't have 30. I have 13.
See?
But I just got a heart.
Things become way more fun when you don't die so fast.
Just got a heart last night, even though I die very quickly still. But
you're also fighting
more powerful things. Yes, that can kill me in one hit.
Which means you need all the hearts.
Right.
Which is a good mechanic. I think that's a good thing because if you're getting stronger and the thing around you. Well, see, I don't like the world getting stronger. I don't like that.
Get stronger
I don't like that at all.
You can still run into low level enemies that do nothing to you.
That's what you want.
But then there are some other ones that are mixed in with them.
That was one of the reasons why Assassin's Creed Odyssey kind of pisses me off because it was like I got stronger and it's like so did everybody else. It's like that's not fair.
I misspoke. The world doesn't get stronger. You just things spawn that are stronger against you.
Inside that world.
You have the little red bokoblin guys and then you have the blue ones or the green ones and those are stronger when you first start playing, because you only have 3 hearts and they can kill you like instantly. And then once you get further, then there are brown ones, and then there are white ones that are like really hard to kill. And that's with all of the enemies. It's just different colors, be different abilities or different strengths.
So why haven't you beat the
I don't want it to end, man. I don't want it.
You know you can go back in.
And I also I'm getting the hearts so that I can get the Master Sword, because that's like the strongest weapon in the game. So I'm trying to get the heart, because every time you try to, I don't know, because you try to pull it out of the ground and it's killing you slowly when you're trying
killing you softly.
No. The thing I said about the dragon mission is, yeah, if you do it early, like you did, which you didn't finish it, did you?
No.
Okay.
I kind of jumped off the mountain.
If you,
I didn't have any more things to shoot at it.
Oh.
So I literally had to
right,
stop.
You didn't have any more ammo. If you do it early, it kind of trains you for like the aerial combat, which you will need later in the game. But if you do like I did, and I did the Big Bird Divine Beast, and that's all aerial combat, and you have to train for that, and it's not difficult, but it is a skill that you have to get good at in order to do that mission. And then I just went to the dragon, and it was fun and easy, and it was just kind of a thing that I knew how to do. So either way, one prepares you for the other. So you can, it doesn't matter what order you do it in, you're going to be good at one of them at some point. So that was one thing. And I found a new laboratory, because there is one in one of the villages where you can upgrade your Sheikah Slate and the runes that you get. And you use the ancient parts from killing the big guardian dudes. Big spider things. To get their gears and such. But if you go to this one, which is all the way at the top right of the map, if you go up there, then you can get ancient weapons and ancient armor that help you against those things.
Did you get them yet?
Yeah, I've gotten some of them. I've gotten the arrows, which the arrows are really good because
why don't you get everything? What's wrong with you?
No, you have to get a lot of stuff.
Yeah, why don't you get a lot of stuff then?
Because I don't have a reason. Every time
I have no reason not to get the stuff that helps me.
Every time I kill one of the guardians, they don't give me those specific things. I don't know what does. I've been hunting them at this point, trying to get those things so that I can get at least one piece of armor, because that is resistant against them. And if you use the arrows and hit them directly in the eye, it's just a one-shot kill. You don't have to fight with them. So that is useful.
Okay. All right, come on. I want you to get to the meat of this. You keep trying to get away from it.
The small stuff first.
Dive in, man. Let's go.
Okay. Dragon Quest XI. It was a game that they announced at, I think, a little bit before the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, because you were talking about it before we saw it.
Yeah, I think it was they said something about it a day before, and I had watched a video talking about the itinerary of it. And you can pre-purchase it on the Switch, or you can get the demo. And the demo has 10 hours of gameplay, and all your progress carries over to the game. So I downloaded the demo because I know nothing about the franchise or anything.
And you love it.
So I downloaded the demo, and okay.
Come on, man. Give us the real.
Okay.
Okay, we're ready.
So I said to myself, well, there's 10 hours. I can figure out whether I like it, and I can learn about the thing, and then have something to say.
Yes, that's what we're waiting for.
I opened the game, and it's this really long cutscene that you watch that is kind of like the overall plot of the game. And then you start, and you can make your game, and you can customize things about that particular game, whether like how people react to certain things, or how strong the enemies are, or other stuff. And then you watch another cutscene. That's about 5 minutes long, and you're sitting there just doing nothing. You're just watching these things, and then after that cutscene, you're in another cutscene where someone is talking at you.
So in other words, you're watching a movie
where you have no choices, but you're hitting A to keep the dialogue going, but you have no things to say. Like you can't interact with choices. Right, you have no choices. And you get your mission, and then you do the first battle, and it's old school RPG.
Ooh, I like
turn-based combat.
Oh, not turn-based though.
It's old school RPG turn-based combat. It's like Final Fantasy. It's like
never
that.
played that either.
And
you're enjoying it.
Instantly, I didn't like that. Because
you heard that right. Instantly.
As soon as it got into there, because I hit the buttons, and I was like, well, it kind of looks like Breath of the Wild. So can I swing my sword? Because I have weapons on me. But can I swing my sword just out in the world? And you can't. You can't do that unless you sneak up on an enemy and then preemptively strike it to weaken it before you get into the battle. But you can just run and jump, and that's it for just the exploration bit. So you do the first battle, and you learn how to do that. And it's very simple. It's not hard.
You learn how to
yes, you learn how to do that. You learn the little menu on the side and what abilities you have. But to me, it just felt like they took an old, and I'm playing the 3D one, not the 2D one, because you can change it when you first start the game. And it seems like the 2D art style, that pixely, old-looking style, would suit this game way better than a 3D world, because
there's nothing 3D.
Right, in the 3D world, it's just like, this is kind of pointless, because you can run around when you're fighting, but it doesn't help you because you can't evade, so you can't. There's nothing like that just shot at you that you can move out of the way of or anything. So you running around, you're gonna get hurt regardless. It doesn't matter. You can just stand still and hit the buttons. So it just felt like they took an old RPG. Like, I could literally make this game in RPG Maker right now. I could do it.
I think you should.
I could learn how to do all the events and stuff, and I could do it because the combat is exactly the same.
You should do it.
And the mechanics are pretty much the same.
You should do it. Make it free to play.
No. Make it free to play? Just make a Dragon Quest knockoff?
Just make a game, make it free to play, put it on Steam.
Maybe.
Why not?
I mean, I thought about doing that.
You can put it on early access.
Yeah. And there's no changes.
Right, it'll be in early access forever.
Yeah. Like Subnautica was in early access for like 4 years. So I don't think the 3D helps it of course it looks a little better than little pixely guys running around, but to be honest, I'd prefer to look at that because the world itself, it's not an open world game. So
it looks like one.
It looks like one, but it's not. And when you look at the map, you have a very clear. It's like your path. It's where.
But this was
a
fairly large.
And it's Square Enix. It's a big.
But this is it was a fairly big deal for their direct.
Yeah, it was one of the biggest things on the direct, and
it's one of the biggest things, and it's a terrible game.
There's 11 games, so it's a pretty long franchise.
Yes, but you're saying it's terrible. You're saying it's not worth playing.
I'm saying it's terrible. But and I didn't mind that it wasn't open world, even though that's kind of like the only thing I've been playing were open world games, except for Mario, because
Mario's semi-open world.
Semi-open world
because you don't have to leave
on, like floating islands. So you can't just infinitely go, which essentially you can't really do that in any open world game.
No, but you kind of
can. To the edges of almost every open world game I played.
I know, but you kind of can because
you don't have to leave.
If you think of the whole, no, what I'm saying is not the island, but if you think of the world in the whole world with many islands that you can bounce from one to the next to the next to the next, you can explore fully the whole space and find things and secrets and all that.
Yeah, it feels like open world-ish. And I didn't mind that it wasn't. I kind of didn't like it because it was like a little hand-holdy, like, oh, go over here. And it's like you're on a straight path and not my favorite.
Yeah, I like the fact that your thing had a map, but you only had one way to go.
Right, it's just the path that you go.
Why do I need a map?
Yeah, I don't need a map for this. And you need a map to see the people that you can talk to.
Okay.
Anyway. And the story, not very compelling. It's not something that...
But you're only 1 hour in.
No, but it kind of gives you... It gives you backstory.
Maybe it gets really compelling after 5-6 hours.
Yeah, I'm not waiting.
Well, they gave you 10 hours free.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm scared about. I'm like, is it gonna get interesting when the 10th hour hits? Like,
maybe it does.
I don't want to wait that long.
Okay, think of it this way. Why would they give you 10 free hours? How big is this game?
Right.
You would think that the game has got to be...
That's why I thought it was open world.
Well, it's got to be... Maybe it is.
I don't know.
See what I'm saying?
Because all of
I'm saying after a certain point, maybe it becomes an open world type thing. Scary.
Yeah.
It becomes big time.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, because the first impressions of the game, I don't want to keep playing it. But it's kind of worrying this, like...
Maybe you just need to wait for somebody else to play it. And
right, I'm gonna end up watching it.
Which is terrible. I mean, if it's really on rails, then why not watch it? Like, if you don't really care about if the gameplay is not all that fun and you just want to know the story, I guess you might as well watch it like a film.
Right. And some people would, like, when the game fully releases, I'm sure someone's gonna take all the cutscenes and smush them together into like a 2-hour long thing, because they've done that for a lot of games.
Yep.
And you can just watch it without any of the in between.
You got anything else about the?
I have more.
What do you have?
Oh, I have more.
About director or about
Dragon's Quest.
Do you really need to say it because you keep saying how bad it is?
Well,
do you have any other things that are actually interesting about this game and its 10-hour thing that you don't like, that you've only played less than an hour of?
No, I played like an hour and 30 minutes of it.
Okay. Do you have something else for the people?
I will say this: like, if you've played the franchise, then fine, you're gonna like this game because you know what the other games are. But if you are like me and know absolutely nothing, you may want to start with like the first or second game, because this is not a good impression. Like, I was upset that I took the time to play what I did.
Ouch.
Yeah,
I was upset. I took the time.
And I just blew past everything. So it was like, here's your objective. Here's the things that you can fight and the people you can talk to. And I just ran past all of it and went straight to the objective.
Why did you go past all of it?
Because the combat is not interesting. It doesn't yield a lot of rewards. Talking to people, I don't need more quests. I don't need...
Yes, you do.
No,
you need side quests, man.
I don't need a side mission.
But the side missions is
your dog or something.
But the side missions are what makes it interesting.
Nah, not really.
Well, okay. My point is this. If you are doing a game and you just do the main thing, the main missions, you might get through it very quickly and feel like you didn't get a lot out of that game, because you're supposed to get things out of the game by doing the side quests.
Maybe.
The side quests were the filler in between the main missions.
That's kind
like
of
Assassin's Creed. You do a bunch of side missions or something posted.
Right.
You know, in Rage, you're doing a bunch of things that are, you know, they're essentially side quests. You're running off to go do this thing so that maybe you get something else. Maybe it helps you with the next mission. But maybe it doesn't help you in the side mission. But it's like you're doing it because it fills in some of the... It's not super hard, but it makes it maybe a little bit interesting. Maybe it pushes the story a tiny bit, but for the most part, they don't have anything to do with story, and they have everything to do with you achieving a goal
stuff
or something.
Yeah. You just get it.
So why didn't you do that with this game? Why did you do any of the side quests?
Because I did one, and I didn't think like that's kind of like what all of them were kind of the very similar thing, like, oh, go get this thing for me and bring it back, or go save this person, or go do this thing. And it's like, okay, but the mission you're asking me to go on is repetitive in a different area. And it's not like the Witcher, where you have all these branches to your main quest, like, oh yeah, I gotta talk to this dude who knew, you know, where Ciri was at some point, but I gotta save his dead child or whatever from, you know, I gotta do this stuff first. And it's all different. Like, none of it is the same other than maybe go grab me this thing, you know, get this herb or something.
Can I talk to you?
Right. And, you know, but for the most part, they're all different.
I love how they all find different ways to say, can I talk to you?
Yeah, like,
come over here, let me talk to you.
Right.
All right, what else you got? Do you have anything else interesting about?
Well, I'm starting
to like not be interested in this game, so then I'm starting to not be interested.
My last thing was a comparison of a good demo versus a bad demo. So a good demo is Mega Man 11. I played that, and you only get one stage to play out of, I think, 8 stages in the whole game. I played that, and it was frustrating because I'm bad at platformers, but it was fun and it was interesting, and I instantly came down and was like, can I get the game? Because it was on sale also. So I was like, can I get this? And I played quite a bit of it.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
This is on the Switch?
Yes.
You got another game?
Yes.
What the heck?
But
see, the number one gamer is the one that allows...
that purchases all the games.
For the gaming.
Yes.
And the purchasing. I don't even know. Can I play this?
Yeah. See, you can play.
It's my account.
No, I linked my Nintendo account with it.
No, I'm saying it's mine.
So I did it.
The Switch is under the Switch.
Yes, the Switch itself is under your account. Yes.
Mine.
And
he's getting all games.
But Mega Man 11, that was fun. That was a fun demo. This, it's got 10 hours. And so far, nothing about it makes me want to play it. I was finished and I started writing this, and it was like you talking about Bohemian Rhapsody. The more I wrote about it, the movie, the more I kept going, the more angry I got. I almost deleted the demo. It was like, this left such a bad taste in my mouth.
So you should delete the demo.
Yeah, I'm going to. Because it just
that's kind of the purpose of demoing.
Because there's one part where you're following a guy through the sewers and you have to sneak past the guards. There's no sneak function. You're just getting around their little bubble of light. And you're not crouching or anything. You're not like distracting them, or you're just kind of walking past. Like, I ran through it and he was like, oh, keep up. And he absolutely disappears from your line of sight because he just runs through it. And then you just meet him on the other side. And this is not difficult. This is not sneaking. This is not a challenging thing. I got caught once, killed the guy, and moved on. So it was like, this is not interesting. This is not a fun thing to do.
2 words for you. Agent 47.
I can't.
You want to be sneaky?
If I want to be sneaky, I'd play friggin' Dishonored or something.
I had that on my board this week.
Dishonored?
Yeah, I put it on my thing yesterday.
That's cool.
And I still haven't played it.
Yeah, you played.
I've got lots
2 hours of it.
Lots of game art and I still
from
haven't.
some games that you never
I don't
played.
think I've ever played Dishonored.
No, you have. Dishonored 2.
Dishonored 2.
Dishonored 2.
Not the same game.
I've only played Dishonored 2.
Right, it's not the same game.
Dishonored, no, and the third one I haven't played.
Well, the third one's DLC. It's not the third game.
It's not a game? Oh, okay.
It's not a standalone game.
I thought it was.
It's DLC for 2.
Okay.
Okay, so that can you stop? Can you stop with that? No, you don't. You have one more thing.
What?
Banjo and Kazooie.
Oh yes, Banjo and Kazooie.
Please, I
Super
don't
Smash.
care. I don't care. I don't care if you are a game developer and you can play your game.
Yes.
Stop. Why the hell did you spend so much time showing me every single move for these characters and then us watching you play it with 2 controllers? No. Now, from what I understand, that was not part of the Direct. That was like an extra add-on.
That was an extra
because when they finally made the Direct video, it was not there. They cut it off.
It was an extra.
Spending
it in the beginning.
Spending an hour watching the Nintendo
like
Direct
an hour.
everything, and then him showing every single
it was like
flipping
like, why didn't you just
turn you off?
Why didn't you just turn you off? Why didn't you just do a trailer just showing all the moves? You didn't have to show the buttons. You didn't have to do it. You didn't have to talk about the moves and how they are effective or not effective. You didn't have to do that. That was such a wasted effort.
Absolutely made me want to just go to sleep.
It's like, okay, you got the original composer of the music for the game to... I don't need to know that. It sounds like the game.
But if you've never played any of the other games,
why do you care? Banjo-Kazooie. I don't know what... I don't know the story.
Where is Banjo...
Microsoft.
No. That's where it is now, but it was on Nintendo at some time, right?
I mean, maybe 64 or GameCube. Maybe
so then, why are we not playing it in the online store?
Yeah, why don't we have those games?
You know what I mean? It's like, yes, it's in Smash, but where's the game?
I believe 64 was when the first games, and
see what I'm saying, people?
And on Xbox, because now with the Xbox subscription, you can play those games. You can play the Banjo-Kazooie games. So it's like, okay, you made a new map that has callbacks to the game. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
you put that
my problem was not that this character was in the game in Smash. My character
their presentation
was, why are you showing me a guy playing a game? What are they trying to prove? That he can play games? I mean, it's like, so
I didn't need
that's not a reason for me to play the game because you can play the game.
Tutorial for that's like watching somebody explain how to use a character in Mortal Kombat.
Right.
Because essentially
all the moves
in almost every fighting game, you have all the same combos that do different things for a certain character.
Right.
So you can do the same, and that's how I got good at Mortal Kombat. It's like, I know how to do this. If I do this with someone else, they're gonna do something. They're gonna do some different thing, and I can learn how to use that effectively. And it's like, so if you've been playing Smash Bros for a long time, you probably know that already. You don't need a tutorial on how to use these characters. Yeah. Like, and the other thing was just skins for Mii's, and you could change the Mii's, and
change him
it.
To stop.
And the guy that kept popping up is like, how's it going? How's your time here? It's like, you didn't need to be there either.
I swear, I literally wrote down Nintendo Direct Snoozefest.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, they could have taken everything that they did, just gave us a list of trailers, let us watch them, and been gone. I did not nothing about what they did. But see, they make these games that you really want to play and that are fun. But their Direct thing was horrible.
The only thing that I got like super excited about was the Super Nintendo thing.
Right.
That was the only thing. Everything else was like, all right.
Everything else is like, retro gaming is more interesting than your new games.
Than your new games, yes. That aren't even out yet. Most of them are not.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah. A little bit. Because your old library of games is more interesting than your new library of games.
You got anything else about Nintendo Direct?
I had nothing else. I'm all out.
Have you played anything else outside of Nintendo? I jumped back into the Rage because on Steam, Rage the promos was saying that the Rage 2 got an update for September. And remember, we wanted to see the new factions and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them yet.
That's not. Is that not in this update?
I think it's coming maybe later. I don't know. I don't know where it is.
Was that one of the November things that they?
No. I think this is September. It's supposed to be September. Yeah. So maybe I'm just early. But it got an update. It did get a bug fix. It did get some stuff. I think some more skins or something like that. Community events and stuff like that. But
not like a big thing.
I haven't gotten back into it because, just riding around. I did find some stuff that I previously had not found. But
you're just doing bounties at this point, right?
Oh yeah, I'm bounty hunter like a mug. I'm literally just running around just finding everybody and killing them.
All right. Which that works. It gets boring.
You know what it actually is good for though, the bounties, because you don't play it, like you're not playing it every day anymore. You forget a lot of the stuff that you can do. So when you do a bounty that maybe of a group or whatever, and you can get in there and get some good fighting on, you start to remember. It's like kind of keeps you up on like, oh yeah, I can do this thing, I can do that thing, and you kind of remember like how to, some of your buttons and how you can use stuff.
That's kind of why every time I play Destiny 2, it's just kind of like a fun thing because I'm almost relearning everything again because I've lost the memory of, at least my brain has lost. Oh yeah, that's what that button does, but my fingers are like, yes, we can do all of these things.
Yeah, muscle memory is great. Oh, we did jump back into the your space game.
Yeah.
Your favorite space game.
Yeah, No Man's Sky.
Yeah, so that was interesting.
Yeah.
We gotta play some more of that.
I think we did a lot trying to fix your ship. I'd say that was most of our game.
Well, see, you had played and I hadn't. So.
Right, I had fixed the ship and I was flying around.
And then you did. What did you do? You dismantled something.
I dismantled my hyperdrive because I didn't know I needed to
anywhere.
I didn't know I needed to make hyperdrive fluid because it was saying in the map that it wasn't installed. And I'm like, but I got it. I
thought that was
did the
hilarious.
thing. And then I accidentally dismantled it. No Man's Sky, you need to save players from their own stupidity. Because a lot of other games do that. And I said that the night that we played. A lot of other games are like, are you sure you want to do this? Mm-hmm. To make sure that you don't screw up something that's like a major part of the game. Because if you don't have hyperdrive, you're not getting out of the system that you're in.
Or it's going to take you many, many hours.
Right. And we played, 5-6 hours maybe?
We did.
Yeah,
OMG.
We played a lot and did very little. We fixed your ship, went to the space station, you scanned some things, and then we came back, I built a couple things and made a house.
Yep.
That was it. In 6 hours. So, that's kind of the annoying part of some games, where you have to spend a lot of time to do very little.
Yep. But that's kind of what people, I would say, in something like that's kind of what they want, is they want to spend a lot of time. The only thing I have left is I downloaded Abzu for free.
What's Abzu?
It's another underwater game.
Oh yeah, I think it's
old.
That's the whale game. Yeah.
And so I downloaded that because it was free on Epic.
You have to build a coral reef and have different.
We'll see. I haven't even tried to start
it. I believe it's on iOS.
You got anything else for the people? Because we're getting out of here. It's time for lunch.
I have nothing else.
It's time to eat. It's time for filling of the gut.
I think this is a longer episode.
I think it's time to. I think it might be longer, but it has been long enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, say goodbye to the people.
Bye.
Peace.
I never rolled the intro.
I thought you did.
No.
I
never rolled the intro.
It's okay. They're gonna get it again.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right. Let's talk about the DM.